Well, blessings, everybody, and welcome to our continued study in the book of Hosea. This is lesson one, the second video. If you have time, reread again the first three chapters of Hosea. Then we're going to focus in on these first 9 verses. As we saw earlier, God had told Hosea to take a wife of harlotry, and he did. Her name was Gomer. You think, well, what a name is that? I think it means commitment or completion. Maybe completion is what it is. Anyway, remember that Hosea and his family were a sign, a visual proclamation of the word of the Lord to his people. So Gomer conceived and bore a son to Hosea. His name Jezreel. Jezreel means God sows. And the Lord tells us how to interpret this. And the Lord said this, "For yet a little while, and I will punish the house of Jehu for the bloodshed of Jezreel, and I will put an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel." So God is going to punish the house of Jehu for the bloodshed that was committed at Jezreel. Now, if you remember what happened with Jehu, he had been zealous for the Lord, and he was the one that the Lord used to eliminate the house of Ahab. And he had also killed one of the kings of Judah, which he should not have done. And the big thing that God is punishing the house of Jehu for is they did not learn the lessons. They didn't learn a lesson what happened with Ahab, and they carried along in the same sin. They did not repent. And he said, I'm also going to do this. I'm going to put an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel. I'm going to break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. Their strength, their power, their military might, all of that will be eliminated. Well, then Gomer conceived again. This time she had a daughter, and the daughter's name was Lo-Ruhamah. Lo means no, and her name meant no compassion. It literally means this, she who is not loved. Okay? It's not that she wouldn't have compassion, it's that we're not going to have compassion upon her. And it's a tragic thing. How would you like to be a girl named the one who is not loved? And the reason was God said, I will no longer have compassion on Israel, that I will forgive them. He said, I'm not going to forgive Israel because of what they've done. He says, I will have compassion on the house of Judah and deliver them by the Lord their God, and will deliver them by the bow, the sword, the battle, horses, or horsemen. I will not deliver that way. I'm going to deliver by God. And I think we've already seen this, okay? If you've been doing the studies with us, remember how God delivered the southern kingdom from the Assyrians, killed 185,000 one night by the angel of the Lord? I believe that's what was being prophesied here, what was being spoken. So Gomer conceived again and had a son. This one was named Lo-Ammi, which means not my people. And that one was Hosea saying, this is not my son? We don't know. But here's what the Lord said. I'm naming the son this because you are not my people and I'm not your God. The Hebrew is even stronger. God is saying this, I am no longer I am to you. He said, you don't treat me like the great I am. Remember that name, the name that the Lord gave Moses when Moses says, who shall I say is sent to me? And so God is saying, you're acting that way, so that's what's going to happen. The Lord was telling them through the children's name that I will sow judgment, I will have no compassion on Israel, and you are not my people. And you think, well, this is tough on the children. Well, I suspect so. It was a dire time. It was a serious time. Was it a hopeless time? Will you say, well, he's not going to forgive Israel. It must be hopeless. Well, what you see in Hosea is there's this pattern of proclamation and judgment, and then immediately the Lord will give them hope. We'll see that in the next time together, okay? But for right now, just remember this, that the Lord is our hope. Rest not in anything else. I'm Dale from the Precept classes in Cullman, Alabama. I'll see you again next time.